The eastern region of the project is spread across the states of
Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, Tripura, Meghalaya, Sikkim, Bihar, Jharkhand, West Bengal, Odisha, and Andaman Nicobar.
The eastern region of India contributes significantly to the agriculture growth of the country. Despite suffering from several biophysical constraints and fragile agro-ecosystems, these states are prone to frequent dry spells and high-intensity storm events.
Government of India has come out with a new project, that is on climate research, where CREDA is coordinating entire program with several ICR Institute partners and Krishi Vijnana Kendras. It has two components. First one is a strategic research. Second component is to demonstrate climate resilient technologies at ground level, farmers level, to develop climate resilient model villages with several components like a custom hiring center, village climate risk management committee, integrated farming systems, particularly with farm pond based integrated farming systems in rain-fed regions, provide resilience to Indian agriculture so that during any weather aberrations, national food security is not affected adversely.
The NICRA project is coordinated at the national level by the Central Research Institute for Dryland Agriculture, CREDA. The technology demonstration component is being implemented across 121 districts spread across 28 states,
one union territory,
based on their vulnerability to different climatic stresses. In the eastern region, technology demonstrations were implemented
45 Krishi Vigyan Kendras,
KVKs, with the support of Agricultural Technology Application Research Institutes
at Barapani, Kolkata and Jabalpur in partnership with State Agriculture Universities of Assam, Bihar, Jharkhand, Odisha and West Bengal.
Climate resilient interventions are implemented in 4 major modules: Natural Resource Management, NRM, Crop Production, Livestock and Fisheries, Institutional Interventions. Due to undulated topography, there is enough potential to harvest runoff, especially after heavy rainfall, using rainwater harvesting structures for efficient recycling. In order to overcome submergence of kharif crops, salinity problems in Rabi, and to augment the availability of irrigation water during the Rabi summer season, a land shaping solution was promoted by the KVK, Nimpith. This technology of land shaping acted as a model for harvesting rainwater in Kharif, vegetable cultivation during Rabi and freshwater fish culture in the ponds. The intervention gave a net income of Rs 11,300 from 0.198 hectares. 25 Jalkunds, 5 into 4 into 1.5 cubic meters of 30,000 liters capacity were constructed during the last 5 years.
An average area of 0.10 to 0.25 hectare per Jalkund was covered for vegetable cultivation.
Amikhan 2010 para panila problem hua para amikhan itu KVK Nigra project para eneka jalgun digine olop solop pani to harvest kori kine bagan olop to help pai ase sabji ki halia laga aru amikhan aka ase aru bi eneka problem hoise gole KVK Nigra project khan para aru ki sai kine modot koribo itu amikhan bosti manu to sob eneka bhabna de apni kan ge ase.
As a low-cost alternative, Bori Bandhans were constructed using sand or soil-filled gunny bags as temporary water storage structures. It promoted farmers to adopt crop diversification for enhancing income and resilience.
Demonstration of community nursery was explored as a local adaptation strategy at the village level to combat the problem experienced by farmers during deficit rainfall season in lowlands. Farmers adopted this technique and jointly produced seedlings to ensure timely transplanting of correct age seedlings for higher productivity and reduce the risk associated with deficit and delayed onset of monsoon. Adoption of zero-tillage sowing in wheat resulted in early sowing of wheat, which enables to escape the heat wave during grain filling and maturity. Vermicompost units were provided to farmers with technical know-how, including earthworms. Use of vermin compost in fields has resulted in better yields and improvement in soil health. Flood-tolerant varieties of paddy enable farmers to cope with the post-flood as well as pre-flood situation. Drought and heat-tolerant crop varieties were demonstrated for delayed sowing and deficit rainfall conditions in the region. Short-duration drought-tolerant varieties enable farmers to cope with shortened growing season due to late arrival of monsoon and delayed plantlings. In FIRB method, maize hybrid Disha 3502 was sown adopting a spacing of 37.5 cm wide beds and 30 cm wide furrows, which gave a yield advantage of 8 quintals. Net returns of Rs 60,000 per hectares were realized from the FIRB method. Contingency cropping with pearl millet demonstrated in rice fallows in farmers' field resulted in an average yield of 29 quintals per hectare. Short duration varieties serve as best bet options for drought proofing in rain-fed rice cultivation as they provide a significant yield advantage of 26% in drought years over the traditional long duration varieties. Demonstrations on off-season vegetable cultivation with ridge and furrow method in farmers' field,
which enhanced water use efficiency and higher yield.
Wheat variety PBW343 was introduced to cope with high temperature stress. This variety is also tolerant to lodging and matures in 130 to 135 days with an average yield of 60 quintals per hectare. Mulching in various crops was promoted for conservation of moisture in fields. Pineapple was introduced in Nikra villages in Dimapur to provide remunerative alternatives and crop diversifications to farmers in this region.
Project beshi phal ami baise to lagawatu ami beshi aram bi baise aro enega bi mankhan bi aro asal bi bhal bara lagaile bhal ase.
Mushroom cultivation was initiated for extra income generation by farmers. It is observed that gross cost per spawn is Rs 80, gross income per spawn is Rs 180, net income per spawn is Rs 100. Cultivation of high-value vegetables in polyhouse was demonstrated as a profitable livelihood activity in hilly rainfall zone.
Breed upgradation at village level by introducing superior germplasm enhanced the productivity of livestock and poultry in the region. Introduction of stress-tolerant breeds was also successful in increasing the proportion of resilient stock at the village level in non-traditional areas.
To overcome the scarcity, farmers adapted to year-round fodder production systems of multi-cut fodder types for availability of both green and dry fodder resources in Nikra villages.
एनपी चारा कृषि विज्ञान केंद्र बक्सर से लिया था और उसको अपने खेत में फसल का उत्पादन किया हूँ। यह फसल अभी 25 दिन का हुआ, जो यह फसल अभी पूरी विकास में है अपना फसल अपने पशुओं के चारा के लिए उत्पादन किया था। यह सूखा की स्थिति के अनुसार हमारा यह फसल बहुत ही अच्छा है।
In Khadam village, Riboi, Meghalaya, about 32 farmers adopted rearing birds of Vanjara breeds with low-cost housing. The practice reduced mortality, enhanced weight gain and egg production compared to local breeds under traditional system. The composite fish farming practice with major crops and exotic crops, katla, rohu, mirgal and silver crab, grass crab and common crab respectively in the ratio of 20, 15, 20, 20, 10, 15 using harvested rainwater has provided additional income to the farmers.
সালজাবরা প্রথম খণ্ড থেকে আমরা নেকড়ার থেকে মাছ পাইছি। মাছটা কেজি পরিমাণ আমরা হইছে 1 কেজি 1.5 কেজি পর্যন্ত হইছে 6-7 মাসে লাভবান আমরা হইছি মাছটাতে।
Integrated thick and fish rearing with low cost duck sheds using locally available materials have been adopted by the farmers after seeing its positive impact on the income. To prevent fish escape and entry of predatory fish during flood from the ponds, netting was promoted in farmers' field. Animal sheds during summer and gunny bag covering during winter in the shade provided favorable micro-environment and improved the productivity.
Adoption of improved livestock production systems ensured flow of income to farmers at times of drought and crop failures. Through technology demonstrations in breeds, feed, fodder, shelter and health in livestock. Climate Risk Management Committees, known as VCRNCs, were formed. 10 to 20 villagers came together to share, support and encourage fellow farmers to adapt to the change in climatic conditions. Establishment of custom hiring centers is an innovative approach adopted under NICRA to make costly equipments affordable and accessible to small and marginal farmers and promote climate resilient practices for resource conservation and timeliness of farm operations. CHCs are managed by farmers themselves and hiring charges are worked out by farmers group. Revenue from hiring is deposited in a bank account and used for repair and maintenance of machines.
কাস্টম হিয়ারিং সেন্টার শালচাপড়াতে যে সামানগুলো অনেক সামান পেয়েছি, পাওয়ার টিলার, ওয়াটার পাম্প, ট্যাঙ্ক ইত্যাদি যা সামান পেয়েছি তা দিয়ে আমরা অনেক উপকৃত হয়েছি এবং সরকার বাহাদুর তরফ থেকে যা সামান পেয়েছি কমিটির তরফ থেকে তাই দিয়ে আমরা অনেক কৃষিকাজ সময়মতো পেয়ে আমরা উপলব্ধি করতে পেরেছি।
A network of automatic weather stations enabled extension of climate services to farmers in the form of agro-advisories in unfolding weather conditions. Small weather stations established in NICRA villages promoted climate awareness and literacy among crop and livestock farmers. Ensuring the right seed at the right time is important for enhancing resilience to climate risks. Farmer groups were encouraged to multiply seeds of varieties, particularly short duration, drought and flood tolerant varieties at the village level for self-reliance in seed at the local level for timely and affordable access. Women's groups came forward to establish and manage protected community vegetable nursery for supply of healthy seedlings in high rainfall areas and demonstrated the benefits of collective marketing for higher returns for their produce. Training programs on climate resilient agriculture practices and technologies helped to create awareness on climate-related issues among farmers and all stakeholders. Technology demonstrations have infused a sense of confidence among farmers to successfully combat climate variability. Based on the initial success, the NICRA project has expanded technology demonstrations for climate resilience in agriculture. The NICRA project will continue to endeavor to enhance the adaptive capacity of farmers and resilience of farming in the fragile and stressed agro ecosystems of the arid and semi-arid regions.